The NFL Draft is just 10 days away with Round 1 beginning Thursday, April 23rd at 8 p.m. It's 80 degrees at 6 o'clock time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Let me tell you all about it right now. The great Paul Rodgers, finally in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's no Luther Vandross, but he got in a year ago with Bad Company. Of course, Free not in. Even though he said, slow, don't go so fast. Don't you think that love can last? She said, love? Lord above. Now he's trying to trick me in love. It's good to have you with us. A just phenomenal Tuesday in Duval. And I spent a couple hours, the GF was out there as well, pollen-stricken, and just taking on the yard. I noticed that the homeowners mafia came by, they stopped, they store, they flash still photos, and, we'll see. But we were doing it all, man. Cutting the lawn, curbing, edging, shrubbery, just getting after it. And, again, Shminez Vision tells you, don't be a knucklehead. Make sure you wear sunglasses when you're out there. It's a good thing. A lot of debris out there. We haven't had a lot of rain. Things are just flying all over the place. But it was a good sweat. It was a good day. It's going to be an even better night right here on this Tuesday. All right, we have got a tremendous amount to do over the next 2 hours. I'm going to try to jam it into a show. Diana Rossini is out. And she made this announcement today. It's her own edition of a Tuesday afternoon news dump. Her statement is, it almost feels like she's bedridden. It almost feels like she's about ready to take her last breath. I'm going to read it to you because this is important stuff. And I want you to form your own opinion, as you always do here on Into the Night. But let me give you a Cliff version or two, okay? Number one, she doesn't address the Mike Vrabel situation during her resignation letter. Number two, she's blaming the same entity that has made her a tremendous amount of cash in the last decade and a half. That's us. That's the media, okay? It's the talkies. It's the voices. They've made a big deal out of this. And then finally, number three, which is perhaps most important, she's the victim. Okay, so here goes. Let me find it. I printed it a moment ago. This is her resignation. Baloo, what the heck did you do with it? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Here we go. Okay, this was to Steve Ginsburg. He's the executive editor of the Athletic. It starts with Steven, this and that about the resignation. You and I publicly, yada, yada, yada. She goes on to say, I've covered the NFL with professionalism and dedication throughout my career, and I stand behind every story I have ever published. When page 6 first appeared, in the item on page 6 first appeared, the Athletic supported me unequivocally, expressed confidence in my work and proud of my journalism. For that, I am grateful. In the days that followed, unfortunately, commentators in various media have engaged in self-feeding speculation that is simply unmoored, okay, from the facts. Moreover, this media frenzy is hurting, let me see this again, is hurtling, is what she wrote, okay? Hurtling forward without regard for review process from the Athletic, and they are trying to complete. It continues to escalate, fueled by repeated leaks, and I have no interest in submitting to a public inquiry that has already caused far more damage than I am willing to accept. Rather than allowing this to continue, I've decided to step aside now before my current contract ends on July 30th. Make that June 30th. I do not, because I accept the narrative that has been constructed around this episode, but because I refuse to lend it any further oxygen or let it define me in my career. Over the last 15 years, I've been in sports journalism. She goes on to say NBC, ESPN, The Athletic. I have built a body of work I am proud of. I have broken stories, earned the trust of sources across the league, and been guided by the highest standards of professional conduct. That record speaks for itself. All right, so there you go. That is her statement. It's a well thought out statement. But in my opinion, it's a cry for help. And she's going to get it. She's going to land on her feet. She's never going to be considered again an NFL insider. That's gone. Okay? Whether you want to stereotype it, say it's hypocritical, say it's a shame. I agree with all of this. I honestly think what Diana Russini has done is set back women in journalism a great deal. And I hate that. I honestly do. I hate it because there are so many people who work so hard in this business to get where they are. Well, this is going to create the return of the stereotype. And this is going to now be forever linked to, well, this story came out because of whatever. I'm not going to mention names. I'm just not going to do it. But, you know, I talk about the stories of Bonnie Bernstein. Okay, when I was in the locker room in the mid-'90s and Bonnie Bernstein walked in, I mean, I don't say every player, but for the most part, they stopped what they were doing. They stopped in mid-sentence talking, and they looked. In the mid-'90s, it was a totally different animal than what it is today. Okay, hard work and respect has been earned. That, to me, is what is the most disappointing part of Diana Russini, is that she has forced that thought by so many out there. And, they are going to have to overcome that in certain circumstances. What I meant by not mentioning names. Okay, old school members of the media, you mention a name and there was a rumor. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into it. And many of them are retired now. Many of them are no longer even involved in it. But that fit that stereotype back then. Again, they worked very hard to get away from that. So this is all disappointing to me if it affects young women trying to advance their career. I hate that. The flip side of it is she is as guilty as can be. You don't punch out like that if you were innocent. You don't say what she just said if there was nothing to this story. You fight. You fight for your innocence. You fight for everything that you have created in the last decade and a half. Again, she didn't address the major story, and that is Mike Vrabel. She just conveniently ignored. Vrabel yesterday wasn't even a part of the New England Patriots and their pre-draft press conference. Okay, he was there a year ago. And again, the double standard, no doubt. Mike Vrabel's not going to get a scratch. The only thing Mike Vrabel's got to worry about is his wife, right? His family. That's it. I mean, he probably has developed street cred in the locker room. Okay, I am telling you that is the case, and he's not going to be penalized. He's not going to be fined. Mike Vrabel is being paid a ton of money to do what? Win football games. He just took this team to the Super Bowl. New England was like Jacksonville a year ago. They were terrible. And granted, they were totally, blown out by a much better football team in Seattle. But nothing's going to happen here to Mike Vrabel. His job is to win football games. The job for Diana Russini is to report news that is happening, that is breaking, that she has learned, and by so many, she has now crossed the line when it came to how she was able to acquire this information. The other part that is just amazing to me is that she acknowledged people in her profession. Okay? The same profession that has made her rich, the same profession that has put her in some pretty incredible places. She's now going after them. She didn't mention any names, but saying that they are the ones who have created this story. They are the ones who have ignited this to the point where, it's the number 2 deal right now on ESPN. That's how important. It's only behind the Sharon Moore avoiding jail sentence for, his affair. Affairs are happening all over the place, okay? That's the life that we live in. I said it to you last week, and I meant it. The only way that she ever would have gotten any respect out of this would have been to own it. To come right out and own it. And say, this is what happened, and, it is what it is. I apologize to all involved. I'm going to carry it. She didn't. Now she's blaming everyone else. She's blaming the media. She's blaming broadcasters. She's blaming Page Six. She's trying to put forward her credentials, what she's done. It doesn't matter what she's done. That part of it is crushed. Now, she's going to land on her feet. Where's she going to go? Barstool? OnlyFans? She's going to make a ton of money. She can write a book. Her first podcast is going to be just absolutely, it's going to break the internet or whatever it may be. But it's not like she's going to go away and we're never going to hear from her again. Mm-mm. In a lot of circles, she's up the ante. She's going to put a huge price tag on herself and is going to benefit from this. Now, she's going to have to change the way that she presents herself. She can't still try to be an NFL insider because even if she is correct, which is really rare, and that's the only problem I have ever had with Diana Russini, is that she was dead wrong on Doug Marrone. And we're always dead wrong. I'm dead wrong. Everyone that I know in this business has been wrong. But instead of acknowledging it, instead of saying that she was wrong, she laughed. And she got promoted at ESPN, which is freaking scary. And then she ended up at The Athletic. If she just owned it, she just came out and said I was wrong, I never would have thought about it anymore. But she didn't. She made a mockery of it. Again, Jim Woodcock had to release a statement, the publicist for Shad Khan. And I said this, I think, yesterday. There's not a person listening right now who's a Jaguars fan that did not think that Doug Marrone could be fired, right? It really goes hand in hand. If I remember correctly, that might have been the same year that that Jason Lock-and-Four came on and hung up on myself in Midday Chalk because, he said sources close to him say that Tom Coughlin would come down from upstairs to coach. And it was like, don't lie, okay? Nothing leaks from the Tom Coughlin camp. And again, for the members of the media here and for Jaguars fans, there was not a person alive who didn't think that that was a real possibility, okay? If Marrone was let go in season. We talked about it. All of our, and again, Lock-and-Four made a big deal about it. And he got called out for it. Same here with Russini. Owning it is such a valuable lesson to learn. No matter what it is, we are all human. We are all vulnerable. We all make mistakes. When you try to cover it up and cover it up and cover, it takes way too much energy. It makes you even more of a fraud. Just come out and say, I got it wrong. So we got a lot to do with this tonight. I'd like to have a little bit of fun with it as well. I'd like you to tell me, where's your next gig? Okay. Barstool makes a lot of sense. What did you say, Le Batard? You think he's the guy?
Well, it just seems to me that Le Batard, being friends with Rossini, he's probably going to say, listen, if you can't find a job anywhere else, if you do want to come on and kind of be a special contributor to what he has going on now in Miami, being independent, I think that's a home, for Rossini, because it doesn't seem like he really wants to touch it. He's saying that, I don't want to speculate as to whether or not like she's guilty or not, but I don't want to sit here and bash her like everybody else has been doing either.
I actually think she'd be pretty good at doing that. She's bombastic. She's loud. She's obnoxious. I mean, these are things that work in the world of the electronic media. She's just never going to be taken seriously again when it comes to breaking stories. I mean, if she tells you that she likes Jacksonville, I figure in 4 years, Roger Goodell will have the Jaguars playing on the moon. And if she thinks that Jacksonville beats Houston on the moon, that is one thing. She may break that down. But if she says that she has learned along the way that, I don't know, Houston's arriving on the moon on a Tuesday, and she's learned that Jacksonville is going to wait until Thursday to get there, it's not going to be believed. Whenever she reports on anything or learns anything, enter the you-know-what. But when it comes to just breaking down a game and picking a team and what she thinks, I still believe there will be people who will listen to her. So her career is not crushed. She's going to get out of this. The only thing is she's no longer going to be even remotely considered a Schefter, a Rappaport, etc. And you know what? In my mind, she was never that way anyway. She never got anything right. She was big on the Brian Thomas Jr. trades before the trade. She doesn't get anything right. That's the part of it. I mean, whether she slept her way to the top or not, she was wrong all the time. I mean, that's what's just the whole A.J. Brown situation. It didn't go anywhere. So let's have some fun with it. You can get us on our text line, 641-1010. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also tonight on YouTube, you can go to 1010XL into the night. All right. I have outstanding eyes. I want to thank the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. Again, cutting the lawn today. My GF, she's got that pollen. She goes crazy. Sneezing and all this stuff. You may have pollen. Your eyes may be red. It may be just a simple allergy. As a matter of fact, my last visit, Dr. Neil Shmunez told me I had an allergy. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. He's like, no, you're not. You've got an allergy. You gave me this remedy, a way to cure it. Again, no problems, no setbacks, never an issue. That's who they are. Always looking out for you. Again, the best value you're going to find anywhere in Jacksonville is Shmunez Vision. If you want laser eye surgery, there's your stop. Right there, Ponte Vedra Beach. Check them out online. Go to Shmunez Vision. You can also go to Instagram to get all of the testimonials. It's good to see R.J. Saunders. How are you, young man?
Man, I'm doing well, Rick. This brings back memories. You and I back at it.
Just you and I. Eddie Rabbit.
Yeah.
The late Eddie Rabbit. I'm going to ask you a bit later on in the program who wins the NBA championship, since you are our designated NBA guy. But that's coming up. Also, Ryan O'Halloran joins us in 25 minutes.
Munoz became the first Bengals player to be enshrined in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
This is Anthony Munoz, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and you're listening to 1010XL Jacksonville Sports Radio.
Indoor golf in Ponte Vedra is here. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Play the best courses in the world at Back 9 Golf. Top simulators, analytics to improve your game, or just have a blast with friends or a client. Get this, you can bring your own beverages, including cocktails. Go to back9golf.com, book a tee time today. Membership opportunities, lessons, Back9 Golf in Ponte Vedra, next to Nice High School. Back9 Golf, where golf never sleeps.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I want total control of my team. The offseason is the time to check under the hood and add replacement parts.
I want to be able to recruit anybody that I want. No interference.
Follow the road to the regular season with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
The Purple Heart isn't just a name. It represents service, discipline, and earning trust. At Purple Heart Pools, that standard shows up most in pool renovations. If your pool is outdated or worn down, now's the time to upgrade. So when summer arrives, your pool is ready. From new finishes and tile to decking, lighting, and full transformations, every upgrade is handled with precision and attention to detail. Purple Heart Pools. Pool renovations done right.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Alert! Alert! Termite swarms are active right now in Jacksonville, and once they get inside, damage can happen fast. Termites don't knock, they silently attack the structure of your home, leaving behind costly repairs and long-term headaches. Protect what you've worked hard for with the proven protection homeowners trust. Terminix it with advanced termite treatment and prevention solutions. Visit Terminix.com and schedule your free termite inspection today.
Don't wait around like you're the last pick of the draft. When your car needs an oil change, go where you're a first-round priority. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed. Just drive in, stay in your car, and in 15 minutes, you're back on the road. That's a first-round performance. With convenient Jacksonville locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and named #1 Quick Lube for customer service by Forbes, Valvoline delivers every time. Visit the newest Valvoline Instant Oil Change at Beach Boulevard and St. John's Bluff.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys Locksmith Service.
Let me tell you something smart homeowners are doing. They're getting ahead of problems before summer shows up. Now, right now at Duck Duck Rooter, there are 3 really good reasons to call. You can get your AC checked out and ready for summer for just $99. Got a big plumbing repair coming up, like a whole house repipe? You can save $500. And if it's time to pump your septic tank, the Duck Duck crew will run a sewer camera inspection for only $99, in addition to the price of the pump out. 3 great deals, 1 trusted team. Call 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
I want to congratulate the late Luther Vandross and his induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That came in yesterday. Tremendous achievement. And listen, to me, it's about Zeppelin, Floyd, Steely Dan, the Police, and Luther Vandross. So there you go. Nothing we can do about it, people. It's there. It's going to remain that way. What a travesty the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is. Really, I mean, just the epitome of suck is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All right, look at this. Everyone here, they're all got all these opinions, all this stuff. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? All this on Diana Rossini, except for the 3827 says, "Boy, the most silly thing is you're talking about it. Crap like this occurs every day." To quote, "So are the days of our lives. Talk about baseball, football, Jaguars, please. Who cares about that?" And he says a word I'm not going to say. I appreciate you sticking through it for the 10 plus minutes, but yeah, I felt I had to get that out of the way. And again, I think she's going to end up being quite okay. As a matter of fact, I was pretty long-winded. We're going to take a break here in just a little bit because we're going to bring in Ryan O'Halloran. I will tell you that after the conversation with O'Halloran, I do want to look at the best-kept secret that is happening in all of sports, okay? And that is NFL games leaving here. I'm not necessarily talking about Jacksonville, although that's certainly the case. But international play, an 18-game season, the nuts and bolts and how they're going to actually put all of this together. It's really fascinating. It's something that we've been talking about. I'm big on stuff like this. I'm big on the owners' meetings. I'm big on rule changes. I'm big on the officiating. I'm big on broadcasting rights. I just love all of the, I don't want to say nonsense because they're so critical. They're so incredibly important. But it's amazing to me, and I'm not sure why it is, because it's been this way for 35 plus years that I've been in this gig. It's all about the owners making more and more and more and more. And they're going to make more. Okay. Some of the plans that they have that are already out there are just out of this world. If you look at the amount of money they're going to end up making, and that's fine. Capitalism, I have no problem with it. Okay. I mean, you get to pay $22 a beer. Don't drink. Right? I mean, there you go. Deal with it. I hope they do learn in Orlando in a year, however, that when I went there 2 years ago for Florida State LSU, they ran out of freaking water in the third quarter. Okay? So get your act together, Orlando. And I trust that logistically speaking and everything that is involved with that, that certainly they will make preparations and not allow that to happen. Once again, 18 games, there's not a person alive that I believe would have a problem with that. As a consumer of football, that gives you an extra week. A second bye, again, okay. That means here in town, Jacksonville's going to have not one bye, but 2 byes. But still, that gives you an additional 2 weeks of pro football. All right. Even if your team is not playing, there's still going to be a full slate of ball games. Again, it gives you 2 extra weeks in a one-horse town like this, where if I do talk golf or basketball or hockey or baseball, anything like that, it's like, get back to the Jags, talk football. I mean, people just can't get enough. You're going to get 2 weeks more in the regular season. Okay. 2 preseason games. And what's really interesting there is that there are reports that are out that privately organizations now, franchises, can sell their preseason rights to those who stream. And just think about how that process is going to be. Think about what Jerry Jones in Dallas. Think about what the Giants can get in New York. I like to see the Jets, but the Jets haven't been to the playoffs since 2010. Congratulations to the Buffalo Sabres. They had the second longest streak in all of sports with no playoffs going all the way back to 2011. They will be the number 2 seed this year in the National Hockey League Eastern Conference. Of course, 8 teams in the East, 8 teams in the West. Same deal with the NBA. We'll get there a little bit later on the show if we do have an opportunity. But if you look at what Bob Kraft can get in Boston, what Jerry Jones can get in Dallas, the amount of money they can command in San Francisco, what about here in town? So is this going to be, again, collectively bargained where it's you do what you want privately and that is your cash? Or does this all get thrown into a pool where they make the argument that, hell no, regardless of what it is and where it's coming from, it's to be divided by all 32 teams? I don't know. I mean, they're exploring those type of options, I guess is the best way to say it. Okay, but the two best parts of this, 16 games we get, internationally speaking. I mean, every team's going to play an international game. It's coming. And there you go. But there are two really huge parts to this that I want to save for after Ryan O'Halloran, okay? One is divisional games or non-divisional games. You can add an 18th game. What should it be? Okay? That's probably a six-pack argument. Here's where it gets scary. Divisional winners, the 8 teams, one bye in the East, one bye in the West. The others get a home playoff game. They are talking about, once again, with this new revision of an 18-game regular season, of seeding it by regular season wins, not by divisional winners, okay? I've always had an opinion on that because I figured Jacksonville would win a lot of these, 9-8, 10-7. I didn't expect them to go 13-4 a year ago. But anyway, it's very interesting. Let's get to this a little bit later on the show. We do want to bring in Ryan O'Halloran, and I do have more on this as far as what apparently is already going on underground. The contract is through 2029, but there's an opt-out. The NFL owners have an opt-out, and they're going to exercise it because, I told you about that research group a couple of weeks ago that is calling for them to make, I believe it was a 58% raise, basically. It's going to grow that amount in a short period of time. And it's because of streaming and everything that is happening there. All right, want to tell you about the Alexander Law Practice. If you've been injured in a car wreck, that's awful. And you may be alone. You may be just really so upset and you don't know what to do. Well, let's get it out of the way right now. At the Alexander Law Practice, you're never coming out of pocket. No charge for the phone call. No charge for the sit down, the consultation. No retainer fee. Nothing. You're never paying the folks at the Alexander Law Practice. And Rick Alexander's been doing this forever. He's one of you. He's Duval through and through. He's a Gator. He's a Gator grad. He's a Jaguar. Okay? There are fine firms all over the place. Really, statewide, nationally, yes. But you get Rick Alexander. He puts his name and is with you in every single one of his clients. Now, he has an outstanding staff as well and some very credible lawyers who do an outstanding job. But isn't it nice to know that you're going to be dealing directly with the man who this company is, he represents at the Alexander Law Firm? I think that's vitally important. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, if you are physically hurt, you need to see a doctor, no matter what it may be, just go to the Alexander Law Practice. You can also call them at 400-6600. But as always, I think your best bet is to go to the Alexander Law Practice. Ryan O'Halloran on deck. I'm Rick Ballou alongside RJ Saunders.
Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Hey, Hickett here. Oh, buddy, it's my turn now. TopDressing.com coming to do my lawn, baby. Look, I met with their staff, salt-of-the-earth guys, locally operated right here in Jackson. Heck, I've been troubled just like you by the St. Augustine grass since I've lived here. I can't wait to have their proprietary process go to work for me. I'm chatting with them now to get on the schedule. It's easy, and you can too. You want to truly transform your lawn, look like a golf course, call today for a free estimate, and top dress your lawn like the pros with TopDressing.com.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, proud partner at Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville. We're honored that the Jacksonville Icemen rely on our team for their sports medicine and orthopedic care. We built this practice with one mission, to raise the bar for orthopedic care right here in our hometown. Faster access, smarter treatment plans, and better results. Whether you're recovering from a sports injury or managing joint pain, we're here to help you get back in the game, stronger and pain-free. Visit osjax.com to learn more. That's osjax.com.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Have you been thinking about selling your home and you haven't pulled the trigger? Let me tell you about Chad and Sandy and the experts that will help you make that decision. Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building, so now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Need to sell now, need to sell fast, need max price. Check, check, check. Chad and Sandy have the science behind it. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jonathan writes from Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of hitting the road in my RV was selling my Mount Pleasant home. After hearing Chad and Sandy on the radio, I gave them a call. The results were unreal. In just 3 days, I had multiple offers at full asking price. So can you. Call the local experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call Zero Res. Hicken here. This is the perfect time to clean those air ducts as you deal with allergy season, furnace and AC efficiency, post-winter, and more. Your air ducts are like the lungs of your home. If they're dirty, your indoor air suffers. Just check out the more than 8,000 Google reviews with a 4.9 rating. This month, take 20% off your whole home air duct cleaning. Pay less for more fresh. Call 287-5727 or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and ask for the 1010XL special.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Ryan O'Halloran each and every Tuesday night joins us from the Florida Times Union. Of course, he is their columnist, and he goes into the night with Rick Ballou. What do you say, Ryan O?
Rick, good to join you again, and we're inching toward the draft.
I know.
Can't get here soon enough, quite frankly.
Going to be absolutely out of this world, but I got to ask you this. Tonight is most likely his last game. Alex Ovechkin. Would there be any better moment, historically speaking, if he scored his final goal once again on an empty net?
I was just going to make that joke. Rick, you stole it, because having worked in Washington for the first 7 years of his career, to this day, myself and a colleague, every time he scores an empty net goal, we text each other. And so we're on the right path there.
Oh.
I will say this about the grade 8. I love the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Had several group interviews with him, and he is a captain. He's a winner, and he's a champion. And I'm glad he got that one Stanley Cup.
Yep. I can't think of a guy that I adored and respected who I just lost it all for, because I mean, the guy never plays shorthanded. Then you put him out there with a 2-goal lead, and he fires on an empty net and starts racking up goal after goal after goal. I just really lost a lot of respect for that. But anyway, we'll carry on. Let's get to the Jags. That's far more important. Now that we have 9 days, and I guess in the case of Jacksonville, it could be considered, 10 days, a week from Friday. Do you believe that they trade up?
I mean, the cop-out answer is it's a coin toss, but I think then you jump into the second question is how far up would they feel comfortable moving up? And to me, that is moving from 56 to 45 at most. Anything more than that, you're giving up one of your third-round picks, maybe both, maybe two of those three. And I really think this administration wants to or should end that night with 4 picks. And so I would stay put. But if they do move up, it's because the defensive tackle class is being decimated.
Right.
And they say, hey, we're 6 picks away and there's one guy left. We got to go up and get him. And that would show their urgency. I think that would be the one position group they would move up for.
Yeah. I thought you got a lot of great information back at the owners' meetings 3 weeks or so ago in Phoenix. What did you get out of last week's meeting, the 2 weeks away press conference with Liam Cohen and James Gladstone?
I think the one thing is they feel defensive end is the best position in this draft class. And I think James Gladstone used the word aligned with what they need. They have 4 edge rushers under contract right now. If they take a D tackle with their first selection, I would take an edge with my second pick, and I would almost explore an edge on day 3. So that's what we learned there. The best player available thing, to me, I'm fine with that on day 3 because that could be in a receiver, that could be a corner, even a quarterback. But I think this first night, as much as they can accurately say they could roll the ball out there today with a starting lineup, they need to add some guys who can help them right away.
Ryan O'Halloran, our guest columnist with the Florida Times-Union. You mentioned 2 of the 4. In my opinion, I felt this way for quite some time. A defensive tackle and edge. I think the other 2, an off-the-ball linebacker, and let's go straight back to the offensive line. Do you agree, or do you see maybe another position that could be added instead of the other 2 that I threw out there?
Well, I'm with you with off-ball linebacker, and that slipped my mind. That would be a night 2 priority. As much as they say they have confidence in Branson Combs and Ventrell Miller, there's a reason why these guys didn't play last year. Miller played because Lloyd was hurt. They gave Ventrell every chance to sort of seize that job in camp and couldn't make it happen. So linebacker will be a priority. Offensive line, to me, that's going to be more interesting because they've talked glowingly about Monheim at center. They've talked the same way about Wyatt Milam. I think if they take a guard in round 3, that would tell me that Wyatt Milam is a future tackle. Yeah. And because if they feel so great about him as a guard, then they wouldn't draft one. So those are a couple interesting points. But I think the first position they address on offense is tight end because they have Brenton Strange, who is a good player, but they have a bunch of role players after that. And if Liam Cohen wants to follow the Rams model of playing more 12 and 13 personnel, you got to get a tight end who is more versatile than just a catcher or just a blocker.
Could there be a situation where a storyline really develops at either wide receiver or corner? Because where I'm at right now, they're set at both of those positions. I don't think Thomas Jr. gets traded. And, even though it's been breaking news this week, around here it hasn't. We've been talking about it ever since, Gladstone and Cohen addressed Travis Hunter. But at either 56, 81, 88, or 100, if all of a sudden they drafted a wide receiver or they drafted a corner, how would that change things in your mind?
I think receiver would be a surprise. But you look at corner, is you have Travis Hunter coming off an injury, Jordan Lewis coming off an injury. You have Jerrion Jones, who's a productive player, but then you have Chris Braswell. Do you want to add somebody to the mix there who can really be a plug and play in case there's injuries, and especially in 2027 if they move on from Lewis? So if they pick a receiver on night 2, that to me that means that was best player left on their board. If they draft corner, I think it's an acknowledgement. Hey, they want some more depth there.
Mm-hmm. Both these teams have waited, and they did so in Los Angeles, and they were actually it was kind of humorous to watch the way that they reacted to that. Just put your spin on what you think Thursday is going to be like. A week from Thursday is going to be like when they don't have a pick. How active do you see them being? Picking up the phone, calling? Do they sit around and wait? What do you think that whole situation is going to be like?
Well, I have such low expectations for their activity on Thursday night. I asked James Gladstone, "Are you going to watch the draft from home?" And he laughed. He goes, "No, we'll be at the office." And I just don't think they. I mean, if you want to move from 56 to say 30, you almost have to include next year's one. Yeah. And I don't think they don't want to get in the business that, 2 months ago I would have said you have to include Brian Thomas, but I don't think anybody's going to give that up for Brian Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
At least not this offseason. So, I mean, I think what they will do late Thursday night after the first round, or it's being completed, is, okay, here's our bucket of players at these positions. What are the chances that one or two of these guys will be on the board at 56? And then also, when do we start calling guys at 40, 41, 42? Probably Friday afternoon. But I'd like to be a fly on the wall because all these guys have opinions, and I'd like to hear their opinions on every pick.
Yeah. To me, it's a fascinating draft. It doesn't seem like it's a quality draft like we've seen years prior. Defensive end is very strong, as we said. Could be as many as 8 first-round picks. But, boy, I mean, really only 2 quarterbacks going in the first round this year.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, I would have to look up. That's pretty rare, and that's really going to, I think, limit the big jump by a team to move up for a quarterback. And I think you may see teams wanting to, okay, hey, we're sitting at pick 17. There's 5 defensive ends we really like. Let's move out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the problem is finding somebody that probably needs a defensive tackle to move up. So it's going to be an interesting Thursday night to observe, because do teams just decide to stay put and say, hey, we're just going to take the need or the best player left? Because, you only see real heavy trade years when there's quarterbacks involved, and that's obviously not the case this year.
Carolina, Colorado, playing for Lord Stanley Cup. They are the best records this year in the National Hockey League. I don't see it.
I don't see it. I mean, Carolina hasn't been able to get out of its own way in some of these late rounds, particularly conference finals. I tell you what, Tampa Bay always scares me because they got the best coach and they probably got the best player in Kucherov outside of McDavid. So I would probably say out of the East, as much as I'd like to see Buffalo make a run, I will say Tampa Bay, and then out of the West, I will say Dallas.
Yeah, and boy, they're missing Tyler Seguin, and you mentioned McDavid. They're missing Draisaitl, and of course with McKinnon in Colorado, McCarr's been really beaten up. So some of the best, I mean, arguably, Sagan's a little bit older, but I mean, the other two are arguably top 6, top 7, top 8 players in the NHL.
Yeah, pretty rare to go into a playoff. Usually these injuries start stacking up for a second, third round. Now you got questions, and these guys are obviously talented players, but to sit out 6, 7, 8 games and then jump into a playoff series, I mean, this is why they get paid that money, but that's a tough ask for them. It usually takes a game or two for them to get their legs.
No doubt. And it's a 2-month-long jaunt if you make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. Ryan, always a lot of fun. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Rick.
There he goes, Ryan O'Halloran, columnist with the Florida Times Union. That would be fascinating if there was a surprise pick. And to me, a surprise pick would be wide receiver and corner. And what O'Halloran just said makes a lot of sense. I mean, Jordan Lewis isn't getting any younger. And who knows what is going to happen with Travis Hunter. I mean, I think everyone is under the belief that he's going to take more snaps at defense and be a starter at corner, just the way that the depth chart reads. But I've been over Grayson Halton forever. At 56, the somewhat undersized defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. And then at 81, it's Harold Perkins as an off-the-ball linebacker who shredded his knee in 04 and is a little bit undersized as well, but is such a fantastic football player. That is where I would go. Now, I'm leaving out edge, but I believe I can get one at 88 and then go right back to the well in the offensive line at 100. So grabbing a tight end or grabbing a corner, to me, that would be a surprise. But we don't know. We shall see. And, you know, what is really comforting about this football team is they believe they have a starter at every position. You know, again, if you look at a depth chart, 12 on offense, 12 on defense, because you go double tight, 3 wide. You go base with a nickel corner. So it's 12 and 12. Of course, you play with 11 and 11. All they lost off that offense was ETN. They replaced him with Rodriguez Jr. They have Tootin. They have Allen Jr. Defensively, you lost Dewey. Well, you got 2 safeties, and you got Ransaw coming in. You also got Ray Lane, right? You lost a corner in Newsome. Well, Travis Hunter. You lost your off-the-ball linebacker, Devin Wood. You got Ventrell Miller. Okay, you absolutely need another linebacker, and I totally believe that that's going to happen on Friday night, probably in the 3rd round, not the 2nd round. You want to comment on that? You can. All right, we got so much to do. The second hour is completely devoted to you. 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also tonight on YouTube. Go to 1010XL into the night.
It's the power of the spoken word and your imagination.
Daniel Murphy waits on the 0-1, and there's a drive. Deep right field. That ball's gone.
1010XL, your radio home for play-by-play.
Daniel Murphy.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Yo, E.T. here. And you know that on the field, preparation wins championships, right? Well, the same goes for your health. Right here in my side of town in Fleming Island, Encore Research Group is helping locals take charge through cutting-edge research studies. Everything from weight loss to diabetes and hypertension. Their team of local, multi-specialty doctors is focused on advancing medicine and keeping our community healthy. If you want to see if you qualify, check them out at EncoreDocs.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulate the 1010XL Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Jabari McMillan, senior track and field athlete and football player at Atlantic Coast High School. Jabari is a member of the Best Buddies International Program. He's been accepted to attend Valdosta State University.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
You may not be able to control the air you breathe on the outside, but you certainly can on the inside of your home. Just call Florida Home AC and ask about the Remy Halo. It's the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
So, you finally have some time to yourself. Even if it is just the car ride home, it's you time. And look at you. Do not disturb set before you even got in the car? Impressive. You've earned this moment to just chill and drive. This break is brought to you by Target Zero and the Florida Department of Transportation.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here, but here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This is Victor Patel, CEO of North Florida Medical Center. Have you been in an auto accident? Are you feeling pain or stiffness? Our board-certified team has over 15 years' experience helping patients recover through chiropractic care, physical therapy, pain management, primary care, and neurology. Even minor injuries can cause long-term problems if left untreated. Schedule your free consultation today at nfmcjax.com. North Florida Medical Center, bringing the care back to healthcare.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Baseball is back. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball at the newly renovated ViStar Ballpark is your home for affordable family fun. Tickets start at just $5. Fireworks after every Friday home game and kids around the bases after Sunday games. Log on to jackshrimp.com for tickets and details. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's a great night in baseball. 9 different hitters with 2 home runs, including, in my opinion, 2 automatic Hall of Famers. Possibly, you could have 4 when it's all said and done. I mean, Judge homered twice, Mike Trout homered twice, also homering last night. Nolan Arenado, that's going to be intriguing to see if he is a Hall of Famer. I think he still needs to pad some numbers. And what about Kyle Schwarber, man? I mean, the guy's going to end up with a career batting average probably in the 220s. But he's got a chance to hit 500 home runs and perhaps even more. And that used to be a gold standard number. It used to be simple. 3,000 hits, 500 home runs, 300 wins, 3,000 strikeouts, you're in. Nowadays, that has changed. The steroid era certainly has changed. And just like every Hall of Fame, don't waste your time looking at the rock and roll. That's just awful. But even baseball, they're so inconsistent. They've allowed guys who have taken steroids in. Look at Piazza. Look at Pudge Rodriguez. Speculation of others. But they won't allow the names that you all know. And it's just, it's amazing how that works. But, boy, Schwarber won a World Series with the Cubs. When Rizzo was there, Chris Bryant was there. You look at those young guys, and now they're older, and they've dealt with injuries, especially Bryant. He was like, can't miss. It's going to end up being Schwarber. Javier Baez here out of Jacksonville. Great team. So, looks like Schwarber is going to end up with the best career of them all. All right, very quick here because I've been long-winded so far in this first hour. Also wanted to hear from Ryan O'Halloran. So let's get caught up. Let's get to the top of the hour. And this is going to involve you. I got a couple of good things that I think you'll be very interested in. That is in our second hour with R.J. Saunders. I'm Rick Ballou.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach. We hit the gym, mow the lawn, walk the dog, then argue Jags football like it's life or death. 1010XL. Real people, real sports, real First Coast.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Get a healthy start in 2026. The Florida Department of Health in Duval County is here to help you get healthy and stay healthy all year long. Our dedicated team is committed to providing high-quality care and trusted public health services for our community. Our mission is simple: to protect, promote, and improve the health of you and your family. Learn more about our programs and services by visiting duval.floridahealth.gov.
Get ready for an unforgettable night with the legendary Bill Murray. The icon of Caddyshack and SNL takes the stage at the Florida Theater. This isn't just comedy. It's a high-energy mix of music, storytelling, and pure entertainment. From the Grand Ole Opry to rocking out with the Blood Brothers, Bill Murray delivers a show like no other. Don't miss out. April 19th at Florida Theater. Grab your tickets today for Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers at floridatheater.com.
Everybody, Mike Dempsey here, and the cooler weather is upon us. Folks, it's the perfect time to try the new breakfast sandwich from Dandy Foods. A hearty one, too. A twin-pack cinnamon swirl and country sausage. You get the sweet first, then the salty kicks in, and trust me, they are addicting. And you'll find them all at daily stores around town. So the next time you're out and about, stop and get all that deliciousness in less than a minute from Dandy. Just one more reason to go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Have you tried a Form energy drink yet? You need to, and it's available at Gate. 4 great tastes, screaming free to Blue Blitz, Orange Fury, and Grape Smash. Form energy, natural flavors, natural caffeine, and electrolytes for hydration are a perfect blend for energy and mental focus. Find it at Gate.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It's been a bit. They've cleaned things up. Not out in Bayard, though. Not where I run and rip. Still see an occasional stroll. RJ Saunders, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when we play the Phillips Highway Stroll, he's got to be producing the program. It's been a little bit since I've heard Outcast, who I want to say also was elected.
I think the last time
Into
you
the
and
Rock and
I,
Roll Hall of
yeah,
Fame.
like you and I were together, I think you had made that announcement. I mean, you know, okay. So I wanted to know from you then, Rick. I mean, has the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just kind of become a music Hall of Fame?
Change the name.
Okay.
Change the name.
Right.
Change the name, and I'll never complain about it again. You have to. It's not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's the
Right.
Music
The Music Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Right.
And, you know, I think it should be the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think it should be classic rock, period. That's it. I mean, they're not putting Led Zeppelin in the Country Hall of Fame, right? I don't think they are. I don't think they're going to put Black Sabbath in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Right.
So,
You're not going to do that. Yeah, it would make no sense.
Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. And they haven't. They've already blown that completely apart. Who wins the NBA championship?
Oh, God. I mean, it's probably going to come down between OKC and Boston. If I were to have to select right now, I'd probably say the Thunder go back-to-back. I do not believe we have had a back-to-back champion since the Golden State Warriors, and that was almost a decade ago. I mean, how time flies. We've had 8 different NBA champions, but, I mean, the Boston Celtics are certainly a battle-tested team, and I think they've shown that all season with Jason Tatum being out.
Yeah.
So, I think right now when you look at the Eastern Conference, I think Boston, not far and away because Detroit's going to have something to say about it, but I think Boston, you're probably making your selection out East, and then in the West, I think there will be competition there. San Antonio is going to make a tough out. Denver, this looks to be probably one of their deeper teams that they've had since the Nikola Jokic era, but it still seems to me until you beat the champ, it seems like OKC, this is their Western Conference to lose once again this season.
Say it all the time. I actually like the offseason more than in-season. The reason being everything is measured in season by wins and losses. During the offseason, you can speculate, you can dream, you can make a point for this, you can make a point for that. There's nothing I enjoy more than off-season work, OTAs, mini camps, etc. Love all that stuff. I schedule my vacations around it. I never miss a day once training camp gets underway at the Miller Electric Center. But the off-season's pretty fantastic as well. I mean, we just saw the Masters. We're a week and change away from the draft, okay? And now we're starting a 2-month jaunt through the NBA, and I'll put my hand up and admit it right now. I have all the games on in my bar. The NHL playoffs, there's nothing better. Even the first round, there's nothing better. And I still can't believe the Olympic Games were decided in a 3-on-3 fashion, which the NHL does in the regular season for 5 minutes. And if you don't have a winner, then they have a shootout. The losing team gets a point. The losing team gets a point once you get to overtime. The winning team gets an additional point. But sudden death playoff hockey is, in my opinion, without any question, the best possible playoff you can have. I mean, look at baseball, the way things are now with the pitchers and, having to face so many batters and just putting up 4 fingers and saying, go down to first base and let's put a guy on second base to begin an inning. And, football, I still don't know the rules. Right? The Kansas City Buffalo, do both teams get a full possession? If the first team scores, does the second team get a possession? If the first team it's like they change that every year. It's so solid in hockey. It is. I wish you could see my notebook. I keep my notes. I'm never going to tell anyone ever what to do in sports talk radio. I just never would. But it really surprises me when people get printed stories and information, and after the show, they just throw it away as if the story's going away. It never goes away, right? I always save stuff because I revisit it. Now, I don't have a lot of stuff. Most of it, believe it or not, is in the head. But I was just flipping through to go back to get to my draft picks that are coming up, and I swear to you not, I pulled up the first page, December 21st, 2005. And what do I have written down? Diana Rossini, Anthony Campanile to the Tennessee Titans.
Really? That's crazy, Rick.
She can't get it. I mean, did she ever get anything right? That's the best part of it. I mean, she's like the Washington Generals. For crying out loud. If you don't know who that is, kids, just Google the Harlem Globetrotters. All right, let's grab some stuff on this. Ricky B, this is from 5022. Let's talk hockey. Chase for the cup. The Flyers made the playoffs. They sure did. And this year's National Hockey League playoffs is wide open. Again, we just talked about it with O'Halloran last hour. There's some big-time stars that are out. I noticed this year, you always talk about this time of year when you get to hockey, the goaltending is absolutely enormous. I read this report earlier today that for the first time in over 3 decades, okay, there's one more night of regular season with, I want to say, about 3/4 of the teams playing tonight. But they are going to have the lowest save percentage in the NHL in over 3 decades. So we're seeing more scoring in hockey. Now, listen, I love a 2-1 hockey game. I also like a 2-1 baseball game. Most fans say, hell no. Hell no. And same thing with football. That's why, to this day, I feel bad about, I still feel bad about that 10-3 win over the Bills, even though it was a playoff win for the Jags. It's like the next week they go to Pittsburgh, and I think they won that 45-42. It's like fans want to see scoring, right? Well, you're going to get it in the NBA. I mean, for crying out loud. I mean, let's look at the finals there. It's they're not even playing defense in the NBA. But in football, you want scoring. In hockey, there has been more offense this year than we've seen in 3 decades. So, again, just pick a goalie. And if he steps up his game and is out of this world, then there you go.
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
In the NHL playoffs, just wanted to ask you, outside of your first round matchup that you have as a Boston Bruins fan, is there any matchup that catches your eye here? I mean, you got Colorado and the Kings. I think Edmonton and Anaheim's going to be a pretty good one as well. I mean, now I'm just looking at the 2 California teams, but I mean, Utah, the first time for them in the NHL playoffs. I just wanted to, I mean, Pitt and Philly, I mean, that's going to be an historic matchup. I mean, with, the history between those 2 franchises. But I just wanted to know, if you're not watching the Buffalo and Boston series, which one are you saying is catching your eye that you want to watch?
You know what? That's a great question. And let me give it a moment here to really analyze it, because, all of my attention is obviously on the West. And I haven't even seen for sure Washington got knocked out over the weekend. They play their final game tonight. I'm just double checking to see if there's all right. Every team has been eliminated. The playoffs are officially set. Buffalo carries that label as a team that just cannot win. If you look at the city, man, are they snake bit. And they are so vulnerable. They don't win championships. And not only is that the case in football, who did I see a picture of? Oh gosh, it couldn't be acting as if it was. I know, it was Justin Rose. There you go. It was a picture of Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills quarterback. Josh Allen, in his Buffalo Bills uniform on the tee with the Justin Rose hat on. I thought it was absolutely spectacular. I thought it was really good. But Buffalo is a team to me right there that could really collapse in this thing when it's all said and done against Toronto. Tampa Bay, not against Toronto, excuse me. They will end up taking, well, I haven't even seen the seedings as far as this is concerned. So, but I would say Buffalo, a great opportunity for them to get knocked out early, just based on history. And again, we've seen recently that even those who have the President's Cup for the most, wins in the regular season and the most overall points have bowed out. That has happened a couple of times. So they haven't announced the times of the games or any of that yet, because the regular season continues tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday. But we're going to get an opportunity to see everything get underway later on this week. All right, let's get back to your stuff as well. 641-1010. No, I'm not going to do that. No, 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 no. All these clever little names for Diana Rossini, but I'm not going to swallow the bait on that. Again, I'll stack pads. There's another hockey term for you. Sometimes you can get me, but not on this case. The Vegas thing as well is very interesting to me. We've seen coaches get fired and the team respond. And you can go back to when Michigan won the national championship in 1989, beat Seton Hall. Remember Kreider left for Arizona State, and they went on that great run. There's been other instances where that has happened as well. The Vegas-Utah series could end up being a really good one. But I'm looking at the higher-seeded teams, Buffalo, Carolina, Colorado, especially if Makar is far less than 100%. How are they going to fare? How are they going to fare? Edmonton's got the best player on the planet in McDavid, but you're missing their goal scorer in Draisaitl. So I've said all along, I think you can make a case for 7 or 8 teams who can win the Stanley Cup. All right, much more to do with you tonight till 8 o'clock. He is R.J. Saunders. I'm Rick Ballou.
Aye, Captain. You're sailing on the Jaguars' flagship station. 1010 XL.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental. With light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park. Indoor golf in Ponte Vedra is here. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Play the best courses in the world at Back 9 Golf. Top simulators, analytics to improve your game, or just have a blast with friends or a client. Get this, you can bring your own beverages, including cocktails. Go to back9golf.com, book a tee time today. Membership opportunities, lessons, Back 9 Golf in Ponte Vedra, next to Nice High School. Back 9 Golf, where golf never sleeps.
Who's the next best deal in teal?
Tell us what you're thinking for our first pick.
Catch 1010XL's draft previews. Served by Purple Heart Pools, your veteran pool company. Let AA Automotive and 1010XL guide you through the off-season.
Spring is here. Time to get your lawn ready before summer heat and bugs set in. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They offer preventative chinch bug treatments, pre-emergent weed control, and granular fertilization, all with no contracts. This helps prevent problems before damage occurs, keeping lawns thicker, greener, and stronger. Call today to schedule your spring treatment. Julington Creek Pest Control. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead?
Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection.
You object to what?
Erroneous.
Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel? You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Looking for an exciting, fun-filled evening the whole group can enjoy? Welcome to indoor football. Welcome to the Jacksonville Sharks. Discover the thrill of the indoor league. Fast-paced, action-packed, and it's family fun. Be there when your Sharks take on the Orlando Pirates Friday, April 17th at the VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Kickoff 7 o'clock. Halftime performance by the world-famous Disconnected Canines. Ask about our family four-packs. 4 tickets and $50 in food vouchers, all for only $100. There's no better value. Get your tickets now at jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. It's Country Night presented by Roland Reese Plumbing. Dust off your boots, throw on your camo, get ready for a night full of football fun and great music. Join us on the field after the game for our free autograph session, sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. Tickets start at $15. Call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks!
Fins up.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's team time, Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, still some regular season games going on in the NHL. I see Boston up 2-0 over New Jersey. David Pastrnak with an assist. So that's point number 100 on the year. Sit him down. Play the skating line. Play the fourth line. Doesn't matter what happens the rest of the way. Sit him down. It's a 2-month grind. And, of course, they have Buffalo to try to get through early on. Look at the work 1596 put in. Ballou, first 56th pick. Nick Scorton, Texas A&M, edge. Prince, the former Gator, and then he went to Ole Miss. Princely Human Milan, maybe? I don't know. He is the second overall Jaguars pick in their first in the third round. So you go edge and edge. Markel Bell out of the U. Second pick in the third round, offensive tackle. Then Deion Walker out of Kentucky, a defensive tackle as well. I love this. Those are my positions. The only thing you're missing is an off-the-ball linebacker. Okay? And, you know, the chances of them doing what I forecast are slim and none. That is defensive tackle, edge, off-the-ball linebacker, offensive line. That's what I believe they should do. Many would argue with that point. 50-22, Ballou, no doubt about it. Best championship tourney in sports is hockey. 0976, I agree with you 100% in the so-called Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I sarcastically have to wonder what got them made them to decide to finally vote in Iron Maiden. I guess they ran out of rappers and country artists. Don't know. I've tried to give up on it. I visited it. I thought it sucked. I went with Frank and a couple of other guys back on the Jaguars radio broadcast. I was very disappointed. I mean, I was kind of hoping to see like a gray slick, acid bandana, you know, LSD, angel dust filled bandana. And it wasn't. It was very political. And what I mean by that is not left or right, but those who spend money and do whatever got much bigger, attraction and an opportunity to display than others. There's a lot of artists who just flat out cannot stand the Rock and Roll. It's in Cleveland. That's all you need to know.
Is there a Hall of Fame that you think like gets it right, whether sports or kind of otherwise? I mean, you know, it seems that individuals are saying that the NBA Hall of Fame, it just seems to be not what people would think it is.
Well, it's not hockey. They've left out a lot of really good players who have more than 500 career goals. How can you have more than 500 career goals and not be in the Hockey Hall of Fame? I would say that I think football is probably the best, even though it took forever for Baselli to get in. And I still think that Fred Taylor and Jimmy Smith and Tom Coughlin should all get in. what you're dealing with now is watered down Hall of Fames. Okay, and I look at what's happened recently in baseball, and it's really disappointing. I mean, Scott Rowland and Jeff Kent and Bobby Abreu, and although I'm not even sure if he is in, Orlando Cepeda, Jim Cott. They're just putting anyone in. And maybe it's because I'm such a history buff, and you learn about Hank Aaron, and you learn about Ty Cobb and Willie Mays and Jackie Robinson and Babe Ruth and Ted Williams, that those are the iconic names. And then when you start, I mean, Lee Smith played for like 12 teams. But it's where we are. It was like Carlos Beltran just got in. And then again, they're just so stubborn and so asinine, Major League Baseball, that they won't allow the steroid era players in, which really is criminal. Okay? Yeah, they cheated. They also saved the game. And again, high and mighty, right? Don't cast stones. I think it's hilarious how people can be just so overboard about how Bonds ain't in. Okay? And they like that. It's like, are you kidding me, man? The guy's one of the greatest players. Just because he took steroids doesn't mean he's going to see the baseball better. So the hardest thing to do in sports, period. Period. It is. Take all these big, strong guys who bench press 225 pounds 30 times and run 4.40s. Take them down to the baseball grounds. They're not leaving the yard. They're not hitting that ball out of the park. They can hit a golf ball 300-plus yards, a ball that is stationary, right? A ball that hangs on a peg. They can crush it. Try throwing them a fastball. Put a little bit of movement on them. Even if you just stuck a jugs machine out there and threw 65-mile-an-hour straight fastballs over the heart of the plate. These guys aren't hitting it out. The hardest thing to do in sports. If anyone tells you that that's not the hardest thing to do in sports, just laugh at them. Don't even waste your time arguing. 0981, best playoffs, NHL, next is MLB and NBA. Man, I know you love the NBA, RJ. It's because I grew up in such great team NBA on every side. I mean, that rivalry with Boston and Philly, and then Boston and Los Angeles, much like we said that the steroid era really saved Major League Baseball. You could make the case that the Celtics and the Lakers saved the NBA by what they did in the decade of the 80s.
Oh, no, I think that you can also make the argument, I mean, to kind of bring that in just a little bit closer. Magic and Bird kind of saved the entire NBA. I mean, you were talking about how the players were doing drugs, and, the league isn't entertaining and all that other stuff. And here comes Magic and Bird, and you got Boston and you got LA, and you're seeing, just these two great Titans. You're expecting them almost every year to go back and forth in the NBA finals. And I mean, I think that without those two, I don't know what the league is, the NBA, without Magic and Bird. And I think that's why you have to look at those guys and say, not only just because of their play style, but these are probably, two of the top 12 guys to really ever play in the history of the NBA, because what they were able to do in terms of saving that entire association and the entire product. So, Boston and LA, I think you can't tell the story of professional basketball without those two teams, but I don't know if you can tell the story of the NBA without Magic.
No, you can't. Then Detroit right after it, then Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, but the great team basketball, and you hear all the time in football about how much the game has changed and how the defense is not allowed to do anything now offensively against skill position players. Well, go back and watch it on YouTube and look at what used to happen. If you went into the paint against Daryl Dawkins and Caldwell Jones of the Philadelphia 76ers. Or if you went inside with McHale and Rick Roby and Robert Parrish, same deal with Jim Jones and Mitch Kupchak and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And you got killed if you took it into the paint.
Oh, you had to fill it. I mean, that was Detroit. I mean, basically, it seems now, I mean, when you hear John Sally talk and he says, this was the Jordan rule. If he put him on his ass before he gets airborne. If he gets airborne, I mean, we're at his mercy. We have to hit him and not hit him like we see in the NBA today, where it's just kind of swipe down and just hope that they're going to stop. Like, no, we have to knock him out of the air. He has to feel us. You just don't see that in today's NBA. And I mean, Jordan talks about it all the time. I mean, if the Detroit Pistons played in today's NBA, I mean, there'd be suspensions galore and flagrant twos and all that other stuff. So, but I mean, a much more physical game than what you saw. I mean, even in the early 2000s era with, the Shaq and Kobe Lakers, or the Garnett Timberwolves, or the Garnett and Pierce and Allen Celtics teams. I mean, just a lot more physical when you would see it inside as well. This era, I just think Adam Silver kind of loves the rat race of, hey, no physicality, let guys get to the rim. That's what individuals want to see. That's what the fans want to see. We have to give them that. Back in the day, it was, listen, David Stern, you're the commissioner. If you want to make the rule where we can't touch them, fine. But until you make that rule, listen, this is how we play the game.
John Sally, Lambert, Rodman, and it was a totally different game then, and it was much more physical. Same thing in the NHL. I tell you what's hurt both leagues, and one being the association, is the finesse style of foreign players. They come over, they're softer. I don't know if that's the case in the NBA the way I do in the NHL.
Okay, I wouldn't.
But when
have
you
thought
bring
that.
these guys from Sweden and Finland and the old, I mean, they're not the big, bruising, physical hockey players that you grew up watching back when they, even prior to the helmets. Now they're faster, they're quicker. You don't have goon lines. I just said Pasternak got his 100th point, sit him down, play the skate line. They're all talented now. You used to have goons. You used to have knuckle draggers that would be on your hockey team simply to beat the brains out of your opponent. And now you got guys that'll take liberties at stars. You don't have guys on your roster that can defend stars, which is disappointing. I mean, they don't fight the way they used to. They keep the helmets on. You're going to break your hands throwing punches on helmets. But, yeah, I think that's a big part of it as well. And, believe it or not, they're bringing spice to Major League Baseball. The Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Cuba, Puerto Rico. I mean, they're bringing an attitude to baseball. Old school will roll over in their grave, kind of like what we saw with, Jason Kelsey and some of those shenanigans last week at the Masters. Old school's rolling. New school loves it. I don't have a problem with it. Okay, if you want to stop and stare down 8-1, you hit a homer to make it 8-2. If you want to stop and stare down 8-1, have at it. I mean, I think you're making an ass out of yourself. But if you want to do it, go ahead. But it hasn't been that way in the NHL. They are more elegant, if you will. Play the game the way the game was supposed to be played without the violence that a lot of people love, okay? I don't watch hockey for the fights, that's for sure. No way. But in the 70s, man, that was a totally different animal. That was absolutely spectacular. All right, much more to do with you tonight till 8.
1010XL.
All right, I want a 32 belly option on 2-on-2. Ready?
Where every day is game day.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
David Garrard here, and once again, I'm reporting good news about how good my knees are doing following PRP treatment at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For an old quarterback like me, my knees are in great shape.
You don't have to be a celebrity or a professional athlete to appreciate the everyday personal attention you'll receive at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. For any orthopedic need, call on the pros at SOS.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Frank Frangie here for Coil Fencing. Since 1927, Jacksonville has trusted Coil Fencing to protect what matters. And I trust them too. From tough chain link to your commercial project to sleek aluminum fencing your HOA will love, Coil does it all. Did you know that Coil can also install, service, and maintain those automatic gates that help protect your neighborhood or business? To schedule a complimentary consultation, visit CoilJacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com. Coil Fencing, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Did you know there's local savings sitting in your mailbox right now? Money Pages is packed with real coupons from your favorite local businesses. Save money at restaurants like Al's Pizza, on pet care at Forever Vets, and on entertainment for the whole family at the Alhambra Theater. Plus, make sure to download the Money Pages app for savings on the go. Pages in your mailbox right now.
You know what homeowners in Northeast Florida don't want to deal with? 3 phone calls in the same week. One because the drain won't drain, one because the septic system is acting up, and one because the AC decided summer vacation started early. That's why homeowners keep one number saved in their phone: Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. Clogged pipes, septic problem, AC blowing warm air. One call brings the right team to your door. Plumbing, septic, air conditioning, all handled by one trusted crew. Call 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
Get ready for an unforgettable night with the legendary Bill Murray. The icon of Caddyshack and SNL takes the stage at the Florida Theater. This isn't just comedy. It's a high-energy mix of music, storytelling, and pure entertainment. From the Grand Ole Opry to rocking out with the Blood Brothers, Bill Murray delivers a show like no other. Don't miss out. April 19th at Florida Theater. Grab your tickets today for Bill Murray and his Blood Brothers at floridatheater.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Well, for me, it's no question about it. It was the unbelievable moment yesterday. It was golden when Sade was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Such classics as Smooth Operator, No Ordinary Love, Smooth Operator Acoustic, No Ordinary Love Dance Mix. So there you go. Sade. They are in. Can't have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame without Sade. Oasis. Phil Collins got... Do you realize that Genesis has been in? They put Peter Gabriel with Genesis in, along with Phil Collins. Phil Collins was the drummer when Peter Gabriel was there. It was like 300 auditions to see who was going to take over when Gabriel went solo, and they ended up giving it to Phil Collins, which was the right move. You realize that Peter Gabriel is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as an individual artist and was in... as a member of Genesis. Peter Gabriel was in as an individual artist like 10 years before Phil Collins. How does that happen?
That makes no sense.
I mean, every other song on the radio for 10 years was Phil Collins.
Right.
And I love old school Genesis, but you can't compare the Peter Gabriel Genesis years to Phil Collins. I mean, again, it doesn't matter what they do. They get it wrong. They really do. Billy Idol got in, all right.
Do they tell you who votes on this?
Joy Division New Order. It's, you know who votes on it? It's guys like, oh God, I haven't listened to him in so long. It's been about over a year, but Baba Booey.
Yeah.
It's guys like him who gets vote. You know,
Yeah.
accomplished studiers of the history of music. Right? I can name 20 bands right off the top of my head that should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they're not. Queen Latifah got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Phil Collins good, Iron Maiden's good, Billy Idol's good. I like Sade, but come on, they're not rock and roll. Just change the name to music, and I'll never talk about it again. I promise you. And where's Jake Giles, crying out loud? Where's Jethro Tull? I mean, Ian Anderson plays a flute. Where's Boston? Where's Styx? Where's Warren Zevon? Where's America? Where's Emerson, Lake, and Palmer? Where's Supertramp? I mean, these are rock and roll bands. And ones that were very, very, very good, accomplished acts. We mentioned a few of them. I don't know why it bothers me.
Do you know when it began? I mean, you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame starting to put artists who weren't rock and roll known into the hall, because I mean, it just kind of seems crazy to me. I mean, we talked about it a couple segments earlier, but just, I mean, you know, the artists in which you name sometimes. I mean, you even include Queen Latifah. It's like, yeah, I mean, because she screams, you know, rock and roll, or Outkast screams rock and roll. You know, it makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
it makes.
I wonder when it started, when that whole thing started, where they said we're going to put other bands and other artists and other groups into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Let me look this up. That's an interesting question. I'm going to say 20 years or so ago. And they did a great job recognizing, you know, early acts. I guess it started in 86. Is that correct? I mean, look at the first people they put in. Chuck Berry, James Brown, Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, Fats Domino, the Everly Brothers. What is it? Sister Susie? I think my mom used to listen to the Everly. Buddy Holly, Jerry Lee Lewis, Little Richard, Elvis. Wake up, little Susie, wake up. I mean, Aretha Franklin, Bo Diddley, Marvin Gaye, Bill Haley, Rock Around the Clock, right? So all of these are absolutely, I get it. They got things started. The Supremes, Dion, Otis Redding, 89. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rolling Stones, the Temptations, Stevie Wonder. Okay, I have no problem with Stevie Wonder. To me, it's not rock and roll, but it was musical changing, story, songwriting era, and he was fantastic. I mean, everyone loves Stevie Wonder. The Four Seasons, the Four Tops, the Kinks, 1990. Let me see if I can find when it began to take a change.
So what I'm seeing here is they're saying they did it since the very beginning in 1986. And the hall didn't define "quote unquote" rock narrowly. It included blues, R&B, country, and pop pioneers.
See, here's where I am. Let's go to 92. Jimi Hendrix, the Yardbirds, Cream, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and the Doors. Okay, that's, to me, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And then they go to Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, don't know him. Etta James, all right, Van Morrison, certainly I'm aware of. Sly and the Family Stone, certainly I'm aware of. I mean, wherever he lays his head is his bed. Papa was a Rolling Stone. I mean, right? That's Sly and the Family Stone. I think so. The Animals. We got to get out of this freaking place, right? Imagine getting drafted a week from Thursday by Cleveland, by Buffalo, by Green Bay. Imagine if that happened, right? You'd be screaming for Eric Burton, and we got to get out of this place. The band, Grateful Dead. See, I love all this stuff, but I don't know when they really crossed over the way they did. 2261 says, Rick, please wear sunscreen. What about Poco? Love Poco. Dan Fogelberg. Dan Fogelberg next to Harry Chapin's Taxi is probably the greatest song ever written about bumping into your old girlfriend by the late Dan Fogelberg. And what is it? I forget the name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Poco. Down in New Orleans. I absolutely love Poco. Now I have no problem with it. Harry Chapin, yeah, but even those are a little on the mellow side, right? More of slow rock. And even pop. Yeah, I use sunscreen. I don't know what's up, but I tell you what, I took my shirt off. We went to the beach early Sunday, listened to it on, listen to the Masters on the PGA Tour Radio Network. And we were out of there in time to get to a place to see Rory on 7. And listening, they do it really, I only listen to them when I'm at the Players and I'm walking the course and, for majors, the 4 majors. But they do a nice job. Boy, is CBS getting crushed. See what Kevin Kisner said? Going crazy about how, they're 7 minutes late on a shot and really making the point. His point was, can you imagine being in a Super Bowl and Tom Brady throws a touchdown pass, but you actually see it 7 minutes later? I didn't really fully understand it because I wasn't on my phone during the Masters, right? You know how someone jumps the draft, they'll put something on Twitter 45 seconds before the pick is announced. I had no idea that CBS was doing that they were so far off as far as their broadcast compared to what was actually taking place in real time. You know what's happening here in real time? Hacker Nation. He's up in 14 minutes.
Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
Frank Frangie here. It's Truck Month at Nimnick Chevrolet. Bigger and better than ever. Nimnick Chevrolet is offering supplier pricing for every one of those new Chevy Silverados. The same pricing normally reserved for GM supplier companies, now open to the public. And I'll tell you this, when you deal with Nimnick, it's good folks, man. They're going to treat you right when you buy it. They're going to treat you right after you buy it. They're going to treat you right always. I can guarantee you that. Shop at NimnickChevy.com or head to this dealership at the corner of Park and Castle. Who treats you better? Nobody but Nimnick Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Bari here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Bari Orthopedics today or visit bariorthopedics.com.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
Spring is here. Is your yard ready? Lucas Tree Service, a family-owned business with over 45 years of experience, is Jacksonville's certified arborist for safe tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for homes and businesses. Protect your property, boost your curb appeal, and enjoy expert service you can trust. Keep your trees healthy and safe before summer arrives. Schedule your inspection today at lucastreeservice.com.
Firehouse Subs is adding a new heavy hitter to the roster, the Chicken and Cheddar Rancher. Grilled chicken, melted cheddar, crispy bacon stacked high with fresh toppings, and creamy buttermilk ranch. The Chicken and Cheddar Rancher, only at Firehouse Subs.
What if every day felt like a private resort in your backyard? Premier Outdoor Inc., Jacksonville's #1 pool builder in the 2025 Best of Bold City Awards, creates entire outdoor living spaces, not just pools, custom pools, heated spas, summer kitchens, cabanas, fireplaces, screen enclosures, and more. Veteran and first responder owned. Turn your backyard into an unforgettable retreat. See what you could build at PremierOutdoorInc.net. Premier Outdoor Inc., a visionary of hardscapes and aquatics.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
At the First Coast YMCA, there's no place like this place, with programs and experiences that will bring your whole family together. Summer will be here before we know it, and Y Summer Day Camp registration is now open. Visit your local Y to secure your child's spot early for a season full of memories and adventure. Don't delay. Day camps will fill up. There's no place like this place, so visit your local Y to sign up or online at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mokama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mokama magic is what it's all about. Mokama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mokama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Let me find out who it was here. 8148 says, well, I think Warren Zevon is in. What about Dan Fogelberg Polka? Well, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame also really screws things up by putting people in under certain categories only. And it was in 2025 where Warren Zevon got the musical influence category. He was inducted in that category, but they didn't induct him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They put him in like a separate category. And they've done that with Peter Frampton. They've done that with some other people as well. So, I mean, they can't get out of their own way. I mean, there's really no other way to discuss it. But that is that. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's something I'm going to get into each and every year. Favorite band growing up, has that changed since? 35, 25, so that. In high school, first concert I ever saw was the Police in 81. It was the Flock of Seagulls. It was the Fix, the Flock of Seagulls, and then the Police. And that's where the Patriots play in Foxborough. I'd say the Police, and then U2 took over. And I've seen U2 now 29 times. They're far and away my favorite band. But I love so many bands. Okay? I mean, so many. But that would be probably the only change, a dramatic one at that I ever made.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
I bumped into a member of one of your favorite bands, and I believe they played your wedding song.
Oh, was that Shinedown?
I met the bassist at Arnold's on Phillips Highway.
Oh, did you?
About a year and a half ago.
Shinedown, Simple Man. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Leonard Skinner's Simple Man. It's a classic. But Shinedown Simple Man's pretty good as well.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. Had a few cocktails when I had a bunch of buddies up there. One day coming back from the beach, I always make the GF stop. I don't order her to stop. I ask.
Politely ask.
I ask, as she's a non-drinker. But yeah, I met him in. Now they're a Jacksonville-based band,
They
too?
are, yeah. In fact, I saw them, the first time I ever saw them, they opened up for one of my favorite bands, Van Halen, or Van Hagar.
Right.
See, I'm a Van Hagar guy. I know I'm in the minority there, but I would take Sammy over David.
I just got asked, okay, favorite rock band growing up, has that changed since? When Hagar was part of Van Halen, I hated it.
Really? Okay.
Now, decades later, I freaking love it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I feel the same way about a lot of hair bands that I didn't really like and respect. Then when those songs come on, I find myself rolling up. Sammy Hagar, man, really so much better than David Lee Roth. Now, David Lee Roth on a recording, not live, on a recording in those early Van Halen albums, spectacular.
No, it was great. You know, and I was always Van Halen, Aerosmith.
Oh yeah,
Pearl Jam. That was kind of where I was. And I had a brother have a brother. It's 9 years older than me. So him and his teenage buddies, I wanted to hang out with them in the mid to late 90s, and that's all they listened to. That's what I grew up with.
What do you got going on? You were here earlier today. You coming back on your regular show? What do you have scheduled?
Yeah, Billy Napier had some things to say to Matt Hayes earlier today about his time at Florida and how things appear to be more in sync at James Madison than at Florida. Is that a little sour grapes for Billy Napier? We'll certainly talk about that. We're 9 days away from the NFL draft. Mike DeRocco, ESPN.com, will stop by, and then we'll talk a little NBA playoffs. Do you like the play-in tournament?
I don't love change, but, I mean, why not? And while we're at it, we're going to go to 76 teams next year in the NCAA college basketball tournament.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
I don't hate it.
I'm like you. I don't like change. At least I didn't in my younger years. I find as I'm getting older, I'm more accepting of it. The play-in tournament's kind of grown on me. It gives more fan bases an opportunity to experience postseason basketball. It starts tonight, actually going on right now with Charlotte and Miami. Orlando's in it tomorrow, so we'll talk a little NBA playoffs as well.
I will say this. Out of everything that's changed, the expansion in the NBA, the NHL, the NFL, the one I like the most is Major League Baseball, because when I was growing up, all you had was 4 playoff teams.
Right.
You had the American League and 2 teams would play for the pennant, the National League, 2 teams would play for the pennant, and then you play the World Series. I love the wild card, the division round. I think it's much better in baseball. Have a fun show.
Thanks, Rick.
It's going to do it for us right here on this Tuesday night. It was a pleasure to have R.J. Saunders with us. Appreciate that. And also Ryan O'Halloran. Got a lot of good comments from you tonight. That is always appreciated. Let me tell you that we're on 1010 XL quite a bit, but we're always on 92.5 FM. And hop on the 92.5 app. Download it. No matter where you go through this great country and other countries, you can take the 92.5 FM app with you. For RJ Saunders, I am Rick Ballou, talking to you tomorrow night at 6.